Okay, so hi guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Shanika and today I'm going to be talking about how much I make as a wax, breaking down my tips, commission, hourly. I also have some some tips that I made within the past 3 to 4 days. So if you are interested in figuring out or learning how much I make, keep on watching. Thank you so much. Okay, so first things first, I'm gonna just put it out there and just a disclaimer that this is my personal experience. This is where I work. This is my city and state, how they do it. And like I said, this is all from my perspective. So none of this is going to be factual for you if you are a waxer. It's very possible, but it is, different circumstances and different situations. I have been working for almost 5 years, so my clientele is very consistent and it's very it flows. So, but this could be the case for anybody if you are working for a big corporation, because working for a big corporation is different in many ways from working for a private owned wax business or just doing it on your own, because you don't have to do any marketing, advertising, you don't have to call any clients, you really don't have to keep up with your book as much. You are running your own business or you're working for a private wax place, that's pretty much a part of your job. It's not a part of my job description to deal with the customer service paperwork of it all. I just am in the business of serving, so all I do is wax. People come in, they wax, they get waxed, they leave. I come in, I wax, I leave. So that was the most appealing part to me, was that I didn't have to put in so much work on the front end. Even though waxing is a lot, I didn't have to be as hands-on with the process of booking the people and things like that. That's not really what I want to do. I don't have any desire to need more time. So where I work at, I only work 4 days a week, and it's just perfect for me. I felt like if I was owning my own business or if I was working for a smaller business, I would have to work longer and harder. So that is why I have chosen to work where I work. But I think it's a beautiful thing. I work with some amazing women who have left where I work, which is a corporation, and they went off and they now own their own businesses and they're flourishing and they're happy and they love it. And I just really just think it's about the person and what they want, out of their future. So anyway, let's just get into the money talk. So like I said, for me, working where I work, I don't have to pay for any supplies, I don't have to pay for any space, but I don't get 100% of my earnings. So if I wax somebody and the wax is $60, I don't make the full $60. I make a small commission off of that. But if you wax on your own, and you have your own waxing business and you charge $100 for a Brazilian, you're going to be able to keep that full $100. So you keep all of that money if you wax on your own. But if you wax for a place like where I work, you don't keep that. You are only able to keep a small percentage of that. So that's the flip side of it. But the part is that I don't have to put out any money for supplies. If you own your own business, you have to pay for your supplies, you have to pay your rent, you have to pay your bills. You have to put out just as much money as you get in. I don't have to really put out much money. All I do is wax, I get my commission, I get my hourly, I get my bonus, I get my tips, and that's it. But I don't make, like I said, I don't make that full commission off of that service. I don't even make half of the commission off the service. So about working where I work is that tips they're not mandatory, but they are strongly encouraged. When you come to book an appointment with us and you leave for a service, it's a part of the people at the front to push for you to get a tip. Really, honestly, it's when people come, they know they have to tip, because it's a part of the checkout service. It's making sure that your waxer is tipped is a part of the people at the front. That's a part of their menu script. Really do a really good job in making sure that we are being tipped properly. Now, the reason why I feel like I have been so successful in getting really great tips is because I really make sure that I put time and effort and energy into my service, actually giving the service. not only am I just waxing you, but I'm really making you feel comfortable. I'm making you feel at home. I try to just be super personable, and I feel like when you do those type of things, you add on, you get a bigger tip. And I don't really do it specifically for the tip. I do it because I just like to give off the type of service that I like to receive. But because of, you know, the transfer of energy, you give off good energy, you're going to get good energy. It just works well that way. So the downside to working in this business is if you aren't like warm and welcoming, you probably won't get tipped as good. So it's like really there's no cap to the amount of money that you can make, but there's also no guarantee to the amount of money that you can make, because it's really up to the client and how they felt after their service. The biggest tip I've ever gotten will probably have to be I think the biggest tip I've ever gotten was $60. Down to the smallest tip I've ever gotten was like between like $3 to $5, and that was for like facial services. Most people who get facial services tip between, like, I would say between $10 to $3, like in between that. On average, on daily average, my average tip is between $10 to $20 on average. That's the average tip that I get. And I wax, like my average service that I do when I'm at work is a Brazilian, so I'm waxing every 15 minutes. Brazilians are 15-minute services. So I'm doing Brazilian and underarms basically like every 15 minutes. So, and also the more services you do, the bigger your tips are going to be. So like I said, there's really no cap to the amount of money that you make when you're working for the type of place that I work for, because they really push for tips. They really push for double services, and it's just like a kind of back-to-back thing. Now, I will say that starting out at a place like this, your money, you really shouldn't start out, especially dealing with something as delicate as someone's skin, you shouldn't start out wanting to wax every 15 minutes if you have not built up the skill, because then it could change. You know, you won't get good tips. You probably won't even get tips at all, because if you're rushing someone's service and you're leaving hair, you're breaking hair, and you're hurting them, that's going to play against you. So I always recommend that when you are first starting out, don't worry about the time. Don't worry about getting people in every 15 minutes. Don't worry about being super fast. Worry about really learning your client and learning your guests, learning what makes them comfortable, what doesn't. Ask them how the temperature of the wax feels. You know, just worry about that one-on-one experience, and I guarantee you, even if you're not the best waxer or fastest waxer in the world, you're going to get good tips, because that's how I made it in the beginning. I wasn't always, I mean, I still don't think I'm like the best wax. You know, I have a really great clientele, but I don't think like I'm like, you know, the most amazing person in the world. You know what I mean? I think that people really connect with me, and I am really good at it because I've been doing it for so long, and that's why I think I get the tips that I get, because I just try to stay consistent in making sure that my guests are comfortable, making sure that it's fast and effective, making sure that it's as painless as it possibly can be. I mean, it's a wax, so it's not going to be super painless, but I try to alleviate any type of pain or fear or anxiety that my guests might have. And then when you tie all of that in with a good wax and all the hair is gone, it's a great experience, and they're going to want to come back to you over and over again, and they're going to want to tip you over and over again. So now at my job, like I was saying earlier, like we get bonuses. So for me, the flip side and the upside to it is that I have like such a steady clientele, like the same people come see me constantly, that my money is constant. It's the same. And when it's not, if like one of my guests decided that they wanted to go somewhere else, or they was, you know, decided they wanted to shave, you wouldn't see the difference, because I work where I work at. I have people constantly coming in all the time. World, you could be in Virginia, California, LA, and you will get the same type of experience. So it's familiar to people. So I get walk-ins all the time. So if I'm not booked completely that morning, by the end of the day, I would have seen walk-ins, because people, the first thing that pops up in Google, if you Google a wax center in whatever area you are in, is more than likely going to be a chain. So people trust chains. So I feel like my money is more consistent because I'm working for a company that is well known and that people trust. So that's honestly a flip and a plus for me. And I don't know if that's like the case when you do it privately. I don't know if that's not the case. I can't really speak on it because, like I said, I've never worked for a private owned business, or I've never owned my own business. But I know for me, that's the situation that I have. Like, that's the like a positive and a plus, that it's consistent, flowing in and out. The money is there all the time. Like, it's literally up to you to perfect your skill, perfect your craft, and just go out and get it because it's there. Now, like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and count my tips for the last 4 days. I believe this is from the last 4 days. Now, this is all my cash tips that I made from the last 4 days, but I did also get $200 in tips that will be on my check from the credit card, and then I also spent 50 of this. So think 250 already to the side plus this. All right. I'm gonna count my ones first. It's always so weird for me going to the bank with all these ones, because I'm like, oh my god, like, I hope you don't think I'm a stripper. But then I'm like, wait, I don't even care if they think I'm a stripper, because strippers get money. So I don't care what you think, just know I'm getting money. All right. And this is all motivational purposes. This is not to brag or boast, or because this is not like the most money in the world, but it is very lucrative for people who are looking to get into this business, you know. Okay, so I've had to count like a couple times. So this is $266. So just going by the fact that this is $266, and I know that there has to be, this is for 4 days of work, not 3. So this is $266 plus the $250 that I have in the bank. Okay, so with all of that added up, with the $266 and the $250 that I had, they all counted for $516. $516 and $500 in tips, not including any products that I sold. And I sold this week, within that 4 days, I think I sold around $300 worth of products. So I'll get commission off of that. I'll get my hourly that I make, and then I'll also get a little small percentage of the services that I've waxed, and then also I'll probably make my bonus. So I will say I don't do anything else. I work 4 days a week. Right at this moment, I'm not doing anything else. I work 4 days a week, and if you can kind of like visualize what all that means when you put those numbers together, you will be able to figure out that this is in fact a really great business. Anytime you are servicing someone and you're exchanging service for money, I feel like there's no limit, there's no cap to the amount of money that you can make, because most of the time you're getting paid not only for the service, but you're getting paid for the experience. So if you offer someone a really great experience, then you are 9 times out of 10 gonna get tipped off. Figure out which type of waxer you want to be, but definitely go for it, because now is the time. Like, this is the trendiest thing ever right now. Like, everybody wants to either be a waxer or get waxed. Nobody wants to shave anymore. That's so 1920, like 1990, you know, where people shaving. Like, people are waxing now. People are either waxing or lasering now. This video was informative. If you have any more questions, please like, comment, and subscribe, and leave any questions that you might have down below. Thank you so much, so much. If you made it this far, thanks for watching.